Well, good morning, Delaware. Good morning, Delaware County. I hope that you had a easy morning this morning.
It was so beautiful.
Yes.
It was the prettiest drive.
We did. We had a beautiful drive. The roads are just kind of wet right now, but don't get too comfy because it's coming.
Monday.
The polar vortex.
I've been watching this since like Christmas week.
Oh, no.
I
really?
love
They
this.
knew about it since...
Okay,
Christmas
I
week?
watched this group online
I
called
did it.
Bam Weather. And if you don't know me, I get into something I call dueling weathermen. I like to watch all the weathermen and see who gets it right and who gets it wrong, and I like to judge them.
Yeah.
And my favorite right now is Bam, because they'll just show you everything and all the maps, and I can pretend like I know the difference between the models.
Yeah,
I am.
exactly. You're the one making the call.
They've been saying these models have been matching from like the beginning.
Whoa.
So these high totals that they're saying, now I worry a little. Columbus is like at the very edge of it all, so who knows where we'll go. But I think we're getting snow Monday. I think we're getting lots of snow.
There's
Watch
your
out.
weather forecast for Monday.
I know.
There it is. Well, we're excited. We have a really fun show today because we have 4 students from Olentangy High School. They are all 4 sophomores. We have Shreya, Varshita, Harshini, and Kinjal, and they are all here to talk about a health project that they've been working on that we kind of know a little bit about at the library, too.
We're getting excited about, yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about the loneliness epidemic. So you'll want to stay tuned for the second half of the show. Girls, you can come up and say hi in the microphone so they know you're here and you're real.
Hi, thank you for having us.
We're happy to have you, too. So we are going to talk about a presentation that you're going to do in the second half of the program, and you're going to give us like a little tease of that. So we're excited to hear about that. You won't want to miss it.
No.
The girls have been working really hard on this, and it's a precursor to get them ready for the next stage in another presentation. Yeah, so it's going to be a good time. But before they do that, of course, we're going to talk books.
And I'm going to apologize. We're talking Christmas books for me because I've been
I guess
missing
it
a
makes
few
sense.
weeks.
Yeah.
You know, I was sick and then we had holidays.
Right.
And so I'm going to tell you about Christmas, criminals, and campers.
Oh, we knew it.
Oh, my.
I know. Cozy
What?
Mystery
A cozy
is back.
mystery again.
Y'all have missed my cozy mystery, haven't you?
Yeah, really. What about cookies? Christmas cookies and campers.
And murder.
There were cookies in this book
Cookies, okay.
and murder.
And
there
murder.
was murder. There was murder. And this one makes me especially happy. This is in the Camper and Criminals series. It's number 4 by Tonya Kappes, which this is fun because our main character, who lives in Normal, Kentucky, has her, Nadine White, has her own campground. So people just come to her campground. She makes money. She's a little worried some things are going on, but she has a group of women called the Laundry Ladies because they meet each other at the laundry room. And they're the ones who stick their nose in every murder case, every problem there is in the entire town. Well, this murder case happens when a local author comes to town. Right around Christmas, she writes cozy mystery books, Hallmark movie feeling things, and the local librarian, Abby Fawn, is so starstruck that she convinces Nadine to overdo the Christmas decorations. The camper that this author is going to stay in has a huge tree, lights, blow-ups in her yard. Well, the author gets there and she's like, could you please take all of this down? Starting to break Abby Fawn's little heart. She ends up sort of being a little cranky, but she's going to write
might you
a
say?
Grinch,
A bit?
you may say.
Or Scrooge.
Scroogey, and especially to poor Abby Fawn, who keeps accidentally telling everybody that this author is here, including social media.
Oh.
And the author wanted to come and secretly be in town. She volunteered to go to a book club, though. Well, as you may guess, in a nice cozy mystery, that author is dead. She is gonna die.
Oh,
I
no.
predicted that one on page 1, so sorry, I don't think I spoiled anything there. Somebody has to die in a cozy mystery. And it is up to the Laundry Ladies to help make sure that poor librarian Abby Fawn is not the one blamed for the
good.
murder.
That's nice.
Well, we'll see if they can do it or not. I'm not going to tell you how that turns out.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, there are campers, there are Christmas cookies, there's cocoa, there's murder in a candy cane, or clues in a candy cane factory, and all sorts of other things going on. So good luck hanging in there. Surviving Christmas.
Tell us
Happy Campers.
the title again. The title.
This one is Christmas, Criminals, and Campers in the Camper and Criminals number 4 series. Tonya Kappes is our author.
Oh my gosh.
I know y'all missed your cozy mystery while I was gone.
I missed
And
it.
murder.
I missed it.
Murder.
Murder. Always murder. Okay, girls, I was trying to see if there's anything good that's being read in schools these days. And you said maybe a little bit. So give us a tease of something that's recently been read in school, or maybe even of your own enjoyment.
So yeah, at school last year we were focusing on this book called Just Mercy, and it was talking kind of about mass incarceration and how we have like a kind of a broken legal system and just the way that the courts work, and it's just like kind of unfair, and it was kind of like a more modern version of To Kill a Mockingbird, and I really like that book.
That's nice. Did you read it in conjunction with To Kill a Mockingbird?
No.
Oh, because
It
I
was
know
like
sometimes that happens where
Yeah.
teachers will give you a little taste of old and new so you can
Yeah, it was kind
compare.
of like a replacement instead of just to like be like more current.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. That is it Brian Stevenson?
Yeah, I love that book, so
Yeah.
I'm really
Yeah.
excited you brought that one up. And that one has a lot of truth in it too.
Yeah.
Where To Kill a Mockingbird's fictional, that one goes
Yeah.
straight fact.
It has like a lot of like emotional scenes. I think I kind of like cried while watching the movie too.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. So they finished up the unit with watching the movie
Yeah.
as well. That's nice too. We did, when I was in high school, one of my favorite units, we read 1984, maybe.
Another of my favorites.
Also, what's the, I'm going to forget the other one. The other one from childhood, there's a boy, he sees color change.
He's color change.
He
Keep
see-
going.
Somebody throws an apple, and then he sees the apple like turn red. He never realized he didn't know what red was. The Giver. That was it. Lois Lowry's The Giver. I was like, I'll get there eventually. But
I was not following.
we did The Giver. We did 1984, and then we finished it up with The Truman Show because they were all kind of about living in a bubble controlled by somebody else. So
I was in
like that one.
college by the time the Truman Show came out.
Yeah, that's fun. It's good times. All right, so I'm going to talk about, we've got our teen librarian, Rachel, which is who got us connected with this group of students who are here with us today. She came up with she actually asked her group of Teen Advisory Board members, that we call them TAB, at the Orange Branch Library to come up with some recommendations for mysteries. What teens might like when they want to read a mystery. Maybe not a cozy murder mystery, maybe some other types of mysteries.
But there are some cozy murder mysteries teens would also enjoy, just in defense of my favorite genre.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we'll see if we'll find one today. You can find this list on our online catalog. You can go to DelawareLibrary.org and click over to the catalog, and you'll see this created by DCDL Rachel. And it's called Tab Recommends Mysteries. So these were created by Bella and Emily of the Orange Teen Advisory Board. And they've got some good mysteries to get you through the winter months. And they also have all these books on display in the teen area, which is really cool, too. They start with A Murder of Crows.
Murder.
I mean, but A Murder of Crows is also like the name for a group of crows.
But I like saying murder like Kelly Cochran has taught me how to do.
Exactly. So that's by Kay Ancrum, and it's about Tig has caught the attention of the town's local armchair detective group, The Murder of Crows. So much like your laundry ladies, Molly, they're their own armchair detective group. They're obsessed with Hollow Falls' dark past, and they're fixated on a dangerous search for the missing body of the town's founder. Uh-oh.
There's a but. It is a cozy mystery.
There are rumors about what's buried with the body, and that could be life-changing for whoever finds it. And so with a mission like that, it's like pirate, treasure hunting, too. So with a mission like that underway, it's not long before a member of the Murder of Crows turns up dead. You knew it was coming.
I did.
Tig, along with her friends Max and Wynn, Wynn,
Aw.
that's fun, steps in to help, but the stakes are getting higher and the hunt is getting more deadly.
Just as if you don't know, Wynn is
My
one of her daughter's names.
Yeah. Look at that in a book there. Let's also talk about, while we have a minute, the Inheritance games. Have we heard of that?
I've read that one.
Oh, you've read that one? Okay, you can see if Emily or Bella gave it a good synopsis. This is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. When a Connecticut teenager inherits vast wealth and an eccentric estate from the richest man in Texas, she must also live with his surviving family and solve a series of puzzles to discover how she earned her inheritance. Yeah, did you like it?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, so is the book kind of full of puzzles along the way too?
It's like they live in a big mansion and there's like a lot of trap doors and stuff like that.
Oh, that sounds.
Is this
so
like
much
a
fun.
grown-up Westing game?
I think I read
Oh.
that book too.
I love the Westing game. There's an age, though. Adults, if you try to read it now, you won't enjoy it as much. You probably read it when you were a little younger. It's the predictive part. If you have somebody in the 10, 11, 12-year-old zone, get the Westing game. This is so the season they'll remember the cup of hot cocoa you brought on page 23.
So 4th, 5th grade, Westinghouse, and then like high school, get into the inheritance games, and then grown up, we're getting
Come on into my campers.
Your murder campers.
My murder campers.
We won't refer to them as that. Well, if you want to hear more from this list, if you have a teen in your life who loves reading, or you like reading YA fiction, check out this list made by Rachel. And with that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side and be with Kinjal, Shreya, Varshita, Harshini, and we're going to talk about the loneliness epidemic and maybe some things that we can do to help it out.
I'm very interested in this. I can't wait, girls.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to Off the Shelf. We're so happy to be with you this morning. We're glad that it's today with just 1 inch of snow and not Monday with our polar vortex coming.
Polar vortex. I feel like we need some sort of sound effect for that one.
Right, polar vortex. With like an echo behind it, a lot of bass. Mark, if you can work on that.
I'll work on that.
Okay.
Let me know.
Because I want to say that more now.
Polar vortex.
Well, we are here and we are back with a group of students from Olentangy High School, and they are all sophomores. And I just want to say we are so impressed that your initiative and what you've done to get yourself to this point. They're all members of HOSA, which stands for the Health Occupation Students of America. And can you tell us a little bit about, I know we asked about this when we were out in the lobby, just about this project, what it is that we are what you're working on today and how you got to this point today.
So basically, we're part of this organization called HOSA, and it's like international. And we choose an event, and our event is public health. And so HOSA picks like a topic for us, and our topic was loneliness epidemic.
Yeah.
So we just learn and we educate people about like the loneliness epidemic.
And so this is what we're getting into today. So what we've got a list of questions here, and these are going to help us have a conversation this morning, but then you're also going to take these questions and you're going to do a presentation with it later. So this is a little bit of prep for that. So who is most affected by the loneliness epidemic?
So there's like a wide, like anyone can be affected by the loneliness epidemic, from like older people to young kids, but we found the most like affected age group was 30 to 34, just because they're going through like so many like life transitions or like any like midlife crisis.
Midlife crisis.
Tracks.
Hey, that's you. I'm past it.
I'm like, oh man,
First
wow.
time that I think I won in the age category.
Yeah, I would have expected it to be older adults. I think when we think about that, especially during COVID, I know we were really concerned about our elderly population and living alone. But I can see how that can feel that way too, because if you have a new child and you're just kind of, it can feel very isolating.
Yeah, like your family or your career at that point is like very demanding, and it can take time away from like your social life, and it's just like harder to socialize when you get to like this age. So
I completely agree. I'm going to start crying on it.
You know what? I'm going to start socializing with you more, Nicole.
Thank you.
I think you and I are just going to start hanging out a little bit more.
Exactly. It's factually backed.
Yes. I don't think it hurts us in the next generation up either.
No, I don't think so either.
The next question I'm curious about is, what are some of the main causes of this epidemic?
Yeah, so when we look at the causes of the loneliness epidemic, one of the biggest ones is definitely going to be technology and how like our increased uses of like our phones and like social media, and how that takes away from like in-person interactions and like building those stronger connections in person and like those relationships, I feel is probably the biggest one.
Right. And the 30 to 35 group, has different. The girls are throwing their phones at me. This has happened twice. Oh, here, I can get that one.
This is better than the time I had my phone start ringing and tried to run out of the studio with my headset on.
So I can definitely see, that social media can be a problem. Is that one of the only problems, or is that just the highest on the list?
That's like one of the highest on the list. There's also the fact that there's a rapid like social change, and like our pace of life is increasing very fast.
Right.
And that means that there's like people like running around earning new jobs and changing like their lifestyle, and this leads to less time for building those social relationships with those around them and that neighborly vibe, because many people are like moving.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Right. It depends on where you live too. If you live in more of a farm kind of setting, your neighbors aren't just right next door. You don't get the hoddly hodily kind of that we got from The Simpsons with Ned Flanders. Instead, it's a more of an effort has to be made.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
And then there's also the fact that there's like gaining mental health issues and things like that, and increases in like anxiety and depression, and that leads to people not wanting to be more like outgoing with themselves and interacting with others and reaching out for the help and like support that they need.
Right. And we've talked about this amongst my circle of friends too. Most people don't recognize that they need assistance with their mental health until the moment that they need it.
Yeah.
And then when they finally do talk to someone about that, or when they finally call an office and say, can I have an appointment? There's usually a wait list.
Yes.
And it's like, cool, we'll get you in 5 months. And they're like, great, I had my breaking point today, but I'm sure I could make it another 5 months.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely difficult.
Yeah.
Those all compile really quickly.
Yeah, they do.
Yes.
So I'm curious as well, what are some of the things that we can do individually and socially to maybe prevent the spread of loneliness?
So when we researched about these solutions, we researched a lot. And for individually, we found 3 main solutions. And the first one is just taking care of your body on a day-to-day. Like make sure you eat good or getting proper sleep or exercising well. And then we also found to be present with your emotions. Like taking time out of your day and just doodling or journaling how your day went.
Yeah.
Or yoga or meditation or anything like that. And then spending more time in nature, going outdoors, talking to your neighbors, and like getting houseplants even indoors when it's snowy like this. You can't really go outside. And socially, we found that starting conversations with people, like your friends, families, neighbors, like just you get so many opportunities to start conversations. It's like just really well to just grasp one of those opportunities and just get along with it.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely I'm a right now kind of person, and if I get a calling, you know, I hear a little voice in the back of my head that makes me think of a friend that I haven't thought about in a minute. I usually take that and I text that friend because I feel like that's something in the universe telling me I should probably say hi to that friend. And so I do it right now. And I think that that's one of those things that I've tried to even do with my husband too. You know, he's like, I haven't talked to so-and-so in a minute. I'm like, text him right now. Right now.
I'm a bit of a planner, but one year, and I should do this again, I made my New Year's resolution to write a letter to a friend once a week. And good old snail mail, go U.S. Postal Service.
Yeah.
We ended up texting, calling. I had about 6 or 7 people I put on my rotation. That was the most connected year. And it was even just through letters, but it made you reach out on Facebook. The phone would be picked up to call. It's amazing. So if you're a little uncomfortable with making that first contact, there's another way to sort of get your door open again. And there's nothing like having a surprise, you know, I was thinking about you, show up in the mail.
Right. My youngest daughter is a first grader, and her class was learning how to write letters this year because that's a very specific, you know,
Skill
format
set.
that you have to do in order for the post office to take your letter and get it where it needs to go. And so they had to pick a special person, and we picked my father-in-law, her grandpa.
Aw.
And that letter she mailed, you know, within September, October, first of the school year. It's still on his refrigerator, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is okay. So I think we found a really nice way to kind of keep the connection going and keep the conversation going.
I still have a few letters that I wrote back in high school. I
Yeah.
have the ones I wrote to my grandmother because she saved them and my mom gave them to me. I've got a couple from friends that I was close to. I just don't want to part with those. Those were such special times for me.
Absolutely. So we've talked about like kind of what are some of the causes, who is affected, and some of the things that we can do to prevent it. If we don't start preventing it, what are going to be some of the effects of this epidemic?
Yeah, so surprisingly, I feel like it's kind of like commonly thought of to have like mental health effects, but there's also a lot of physical effects. And it's like an example would be like the stress hormones being like induced, and so it's increasing your cortisol levels, and that actually has the ability to kind of set off your cognitive abilities. So it's like kind of surprising, like just because you're not having that social connection, you're having struggles in like how you would regularly think or read, listen, speaking, like everything like that. And it's just like, I don't think I wouldn't have expected it before I would have done this research that just like not going around and like talking to other people would lead to like a declining physical health.
Right. Your own physical health, and declining cortisol can affect so much: your mood, your sleep, your body, your weight, all of those things. The hormones are a wild thing, man. And as my doctor tells me every time, I'm like, can't we just check them? And she's like, they would change in 5 minutes. It doesn't matter anyway.
It doesn't matter anyway.
I know. So you just have to do those things, like you were saying, to kind of like reground yourself, to go stand in nature, play in the snow today.
Yeah.
Today's a great day to play in the snow.
Give yourself small steps too. Start with just eating an apple one day.
Yeah.
Or, I have been pushing off that exercise thing like nobody's business this year. And this week, I didn't wait for New Year's. I decided to start just walking while I watch TV. I watch an episode of TV with my husband every night. I don't have to do that on the couch.
Oh, wait till you see what's coming to my office today.
What?
A walking pad.
Are you kidding?
Oh, no.
Nicole,
I'm going to have my standing desk, and I'm going to have my walking pad, and everyone's going to be like, Nicole's walking again.
I'm going to be standing behind her, just walking in place, like on my, iPad trying to do work, just so I'm not alone in it.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Those are some of the effects on an individual basis. Are there anything on a societal basis?
I didn't really look into that. I was kind of looking in more into how individually, I feel like mental health, that's completely a different aspect, and physical health is something we have to educate the public more on. So I kind of focus more on that.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Okay, I'm going to throw a question at you that I'll give you a second to think about. But as a library, do you know if there's anything that we can do to help with this epidemic, with some of the things that you've researched?
So I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure, that there's book clubs, and it's just just giving people the opportunity to go talk to other people,
right?
Because it can be kind of harder just to start a conversation with someone if you don't know what you guys have in common. But if there's some book you've read or a certain genre you like, it's a good conversation starter.
Right.
And
you've already started with a common
and you can
ground.
start building relationships off of that.
And just so you all know, our next book club is going to be at Ostrander Branch, 11 to 12 on Wednesday, the 8th. So if you're interested, which book is that one?
I don't know what book they're reading this
sure
time, but I know it's a good group.
Yes. Oh, it is a really good
group
they're
that gets
a really
together.
Good
is
group.
Really welcoming and excited. You had another idea too.
So I know the library does summer programs,
Yes.
and that's a great way to implement just a regular talk where you can talk about loneliness and how you've been maybe feeling today. And I think that's a great way for the library to actually help students and adults, especially in that age category, to just take some time out of their day and just talk about how they were feeling today with a bunch of people.
Yeah. You are guys, you are teasing us right into
really are.
some of the upcoming events that we have at the library, because this is another way that we end the show as we talk about some of the things that are happening on, what day of the week is that? Monday, January 13th. So a week from Monday. The snow will be long gone by then.
Long gone.
We have Beating the Winter Blues with the OSU Extension. So our experts from OSU Extension are coming to the Orange Branch Library on that Monday night at 6 o'clock. And they're going to talk about learning to identify some of the winter blues symptoms, learning strategies to be well in the winter, and to set SMART goals. That's capital SMART. Goals for winter wellness.
And man, when I'm driving home and it's dark and I still have to do dinner and I just want to go to bed now and it's early, that's a good topic to have at this time.
Absolutely.
I also want to do a quick shout out that if the snow does really come, just keep an eye on the levels. If you want to know if the library is open, the library doesn't tend to close unless we have a level 2 snow emergency. At that point, we're not going to put our staff or our patrons out on the road to take any risks. So if you don't see right away and you're not sure if the library would be open, we're open up until we hit a level 2. But do check your media outlets if some weird thing would happen. It's also going to be posted on all those media outlets because Nicole is amazing at her job.
We send an email, we put it on the website, we put it on social media. So all of the ways that you get your information from the Delaware County District Library, we will have it. We will have it happening. We've got a couple other things that I want to talk about that might interest some of the friends who are in the studio with us today. Coming up on Friday, January 10th, so a week from today, is Prep Accelerator's ACT virtual crash course. That's a 6 to 8 p.m. Program that you get to do in the comfort of your own home. Dr. Sampath is going to analyze a variety of ACT questions from simple to complex. So that's next Friday. Completely free. Definitely take advantage of this. If you are listening today live on Friday, January 3rd, tonight is ACT Virtual Crash Course for SAT. I think, is that right? I think it is.
Yeah, I can't remember
I'll
that
check
one.
it on the app, yeah.
But I want to throw out one more because we're all in the new year and we're all trying to clean out our houses as we put up our holiday decorations. And the Maker Studio on Wednesday the 8th has a registered event, so make sure to get online. Converting and printing photos, slides, and negatives.
Yeah.
Once you get those things converted, you can get them out of your house. So that's from 5:30 to 6:30 at the Liberty Maker Studio. Make sure to register ahead.
And if you're finding your winter lights have all died, you can still donate them to the library, and we will recycle them right for you.
I've got mine to come down, and I've got like the entire middle of my tree is not lit anymore.
Oh, my top and bottom of my tree are not lit. So.
We should just trade.
Exactly. Well, I want to thank Kinjal, Shreya, Varshita, and Harshini for joining us this morning. You guys were really excellent, and I know that you're going to be great health workers whenever you get into that field.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. And good luck on your next presentation. And thank you, Molly.
Thank you, Nicole.
Glad to have you back. Happy New Year, Mark.
You too.
Be safe in the snow, Mark.
I will. I
Until
shall.
next week, we'll see you in the stacks.